What is up, Earthnoids and Spacenoids? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode, we're returning to Mobile Suit Gundam Missing Link. It has been a year and a half, so let's play catch-up. The Slave Wraith team is led by Travis Kirkland, who goes into situations other teams can't handle. The Marcosius Corps is a Zeon team of disgraced pilots. One of these men is Vincent. As the Slave Wraiths make their way across Europe, they run into Pale Rider. This time, the Marcosius team and Slave Wraiths fight against Pale Rider. Both teams are able to make it into space after losing a few men, and Zeon returns to Granada to prepare for Solomon. So let's get into this. Vincent Gleesner looks at a photo of his family, his father being Travis. He is on this team because of his father's defection. Communication to Side 3 has been cut off. He just wants to talk to his family, as he feels trapped on Earth. Both Vincent and Travis look at the Pale Rider. The RX-80PR Pale Rider is a prototype next-generation mobile suit, incorporating the greatest technologies of the One-Year War. A mysterious man named Grave used it to test the Hades system, based off of the exam system. Hades stands for Hyper Animosity Detect Estimate System. Lame. Unlike the exam system, Hades fully takes control of the pilot, who serves merely as a vessel for Hades. This unit has a short operating time. Weapons include a pair of Vulcan guns, a beam saber, a hand beam gun, a 90mm bulb-up machine gun, the XBR M79H2 hyper beam rifle, a spike shield, and much more. Vincent and Travis begin fighting one another when the Pale Rider jumps in the middle. Travis wonders if Graves sent two of his assassins in for the same mission. Vincent wonders why Federation mobile suits are attacking one another. They focus on the Slave Wraiths. Ripper, aka Fred, in Gundam Pixie takes on Doug Schneid in the Ifrit. They engage in melee combat. Travis tries to tell Vincent to fall back, but Pale Rider tries to stab his Zaku. Travis and the Slave Wraith jumps in right on time and blocks the attack. Vincent's Zaku loses an arm. Travis says this mobile suit pilot is some kind of monster. He is finally able to get his comms open to Vincent and tell him that the Pale Rider is after the Slave Wraiths, and for him to fall back. Travis yells, "Do you want to die before your parents?" And that works on him. Vincent grabs and locks onto the Pale Rider as he ejects. He tells Vincent to hit his back. What if he actually fled instead of standing there gawking at him? He throws his heat hawk into the back, making it erupt into flames. Vincent watches in the distance as a comrade comes to rescue him. Someone tries to get into contact with the Pale Rider pilot. It happens to be a girl. Pale Rider lost its arm, but it is not down. The pilot is told to return, and a surge runs through her body. Vincent and his Zaku tries to stop Kirkland brand Blue Destiny from running off. The Pale Rider's pilot loses control of the unit. Wires attached to the pilot's helmet sending jolts to her face. But before any fighting can happen, Pale Rider takes off. Vincent is informed that the Mad Angler team has found a way into Jaburo, and they can finally pull back, though it played no role in the Slave Wraiths team. Jaburo was attacked the following day. Grave was able to flee. The Slave Wraith team is concerned that without Grave, they will be considered traitors. It seems Grave expects them to be executed for desertion or eventually killed for using unknown mobile suits. Travis wants to head to the secret base, a place where even Grave doesn't know about. We will find out that he actually does. Meanwhile, in a Jukan sub, the Marcosius team is moving with the Mad Angler team, heading towards North America. Vincent's team pulls out a piece of Federation armor wedged into his Zaku. He notices a picture of his family taped onto the armor. According to Vincent, post-Battle of Jaburo, some had a choice to remain on Earth or fight the front in space. They chose to head into space. They're on their way to a mass driver system heading towards Granada. Lieutenant Colonel Heckel is in command, trying to get as many people out into space. The Federation approaches their location. He launches the Marcosius team to protect the Zanzibar, getting ready for a launch. Vincent asks the Colonel to borrow one of his mobile suits. Unfortunately for Vincent, all they had to work with is a Zaku-1. A gun tank bombards the mountainside, getting very close to the mass driver system. The Zanzibar launches as the Marcosius team is attacked. It is Travis and the Slave Wraith full armor. The RX-79G WR full armor Slave Wraith is the repaired version of the Slave Wraith after it was damaged by Pale Rider, since there was a shortage in Gundam ground parts. This incorporates GEM ground parts. It uses the Type C GEM's arm shield. The shoulders have a modified weapons rack, which incorporates a stolen Goof custom Gatling gun. Other weapons include Vulcan guns in the chest, a multi-launcher, a 3 and 2 tube missile launcher, the Blash XBR M79E beam rifle, a leg missile pod, and a titanium ceramic composite shield. Wearable armor can be purged. He moves in to attack the gems. Travis asks if they are part of the Marcosius squad. If so, they will provide covering fire for them. Captain Schneid wonders what is going on. Travis says, I'm in a full armor variant. By law, I have to daka at least once, and I must perform at least 3 pew-pews. My hands are tied. The real full armor is the explosions we made on the way. The Marcosius team and Slave Wraith team meet. Travis tells him that his unit is composed of prisoners, so in many ways. They too are Xeon. Travis tells him that there is one remaining shuttle. They should be able to make their escape after a few repairs. Doris, aka Diver, informs Travis that she notices a blip on the radar. It is a Big Tray class along with Pale Rider. Travis is certain Grave is behind Pale Rider. He fires his Gatling gun as Kirkland Blue Destiny moves in. The Marcosius team moves in for a melee attack while the Slave Wraith fires pew-pews from afar. Marvin, aka Bomber, fires on Pale Rider, but it does a sweet backflip over the explosion. Travis actually gets a hit on the blue mobile suit. The airfield doesn't have a crane. Diver says that one of the mobile suits should help them out. It will make things go faster. Captain Schneid attacks the Big Tray class ship. They hit some of the turrets, but one gets a direct hit on the mass driver system. Gundam Pixie and the Ifrit go to town on the hover ship. While distracted, a Jim stabs Schneid's Ifrit in the back. Captain Schneid is down. Above them in what looks like a dish, the mysterious Grave is observing the battle along with the brainwaves of the Pale Rider pilot. Grave mentions that the pilot is a new type after all. They begin loading the shuttle. The Marcosius team needs to pull back. Vincent crashes out. Calm down, bro, you were in a Zaku 1. He takes out 2 gems, but is shot in the back. They all stop listening to their orders until they hear Schneid's voice. The captain is still alive. He tells them to get back to the shuttle, and they finally listen. Schneid tells him to forget what he said about competition in the Gobi Desert. They are comrades in arm, and they need to look after one another. They were competing for potential spots on the Chimera Corps, but he says it isn't worth it. Schneid will stay behind and hold off another wave that is currently on their way. Ripper hates space, so he wants to stay behind. Pixie and the Ifrit hold off the Big Tray class. Hey, wait a minute, that isn't a dish. That's just a regular plane with a dish on it. What a phony. Anytime I see a generic plane, I'm disappointed. They could have made that a dish. Grave thinks he has collected enough data for the next Hades. This also shows that Grave does know this location. The shuttle takes off. Pale Rider is staring down the shuttle playing a game of chicken before it jumps out of the way. The Big Tray fires its remaining turrets on the mass driver system. The shuttle takes off just in time as the bombardment takes out the mass driver system. Schneid fires and takes out the bridge of the Big Tray. He is barely hanging in there. Ripper tells him that he betrayed his people in his last breath. Even with this knowledge, he could trust him to help get his people back into space. Schneid passes away. Ripper gives him a proper burial. He could rest knowing he was successful. One thing to note here is that this manga and the video game isn't the only appearance of Ripper. During the attack on Torrington in UC 0096, he assisted Yonem Kurtz and an Ifrit Schneid. Oh, Schneid, like Schneid, I get it. The shuttle finds a Salamis-class ship that they might be able to get working. Vincent gives back the photo to Travis. He shows him the same photo that he has. Vincent wonders if they will see each other again. He still has things to handle on his end, but hopes that they could have a meal when all is said and done. The Slave Wraiths commandeer the Salamis while the shuttle continues towards Granada. December 14th, Operation Chimbalo begins, though this manga calls it Harpsichord. The two mean the same thing, but Harpsichord sounds so much lamer. Grave also has a secret fleet heading towards the Solomon area. Out in space, Pale Rider is running a test. We learn the pilot's name is Chloe Crochet. The English version is so weird, but I'm pretty sure it should be the alliteration Chloe Crochet or Crochet. I feel like someone on that corporate-run wiki is trolling everyone. The Pale Rider received great improvements in speed. Grave wants to up her new type meds. His goal is to keep up with Xeon's new type research. Meanwhile, on the moon, the Marcosius team is now linked up with the Chimera Corps. They too run training exercises. While training, they run into a bishop. The MS-06Z Psychomu System Zaku, also known as the MSZ-06 Bishop or Zaku-2 Z-Type, is a prototype created under the Bishop Plan, Xeon's attempt to create remote-controlled new-type weaponry. Its goal was to turn this into a Jiang. What happened? This was used for data collection mainly. It is based off the F-type frame, but the head is replaced with something similar to a Zaku 1 head. This machine is enlarged and there are no external cooling pipes. As a result, the mobile suit has one high-output rocket engine on each side of the chest, and 3 more on its back. However, its operating time is only about 10 minutes, making it questionable to use on the battlefield. The arms detach at the elbow and each finger has a megaparticle cannon, Of course, this has a Psychomu system. The Bishop tells the Marcosius team that it is their time to train, and begins firing on their comrades. Vincent's men flank while he finds an opening. Being in training mode, the team didn't hesitate. He goes in to attack, but just boops the Bishop on the snout. This was just a test. Corporal Rose is the one in the Psychomu Zaku. Cadets watched their training as they wanted to see aces in action. These idiots realize they are now ace veterans. However, the cadets aren't watching them. They're watching as the Purple Widow and a Musai launch. It is Caecilia with Char heading towards Solomon. He notes that Caecilia isn't bringing a lot of forces to help out. Of course, this is all intentional. December 24th, the attack on Solomon begins. And that will do it for this episode. One thing to note is that Grave is a person, but also a secret organization, unlike the game where it just seems to be one person in the shadows. The Full Armor Slave Wraith is also exclusive to the manga. Furthermore, I believe Schneid lives but eventually dies from an illness. I have no idea if this version ever ended up meeting the guinea pig team, which would give him more intel on Pale Rider. Next time the Battle of Solomon takes place, Travis realizes one of the Slave Wraiths is a spy, and we will see the Pale Rider cavalry in action. But that'll do it for now, new types. Remember, Pale Rider is just Kirkland brand Blue Destiny. Peace.